Hello, YouTube! My name is Tanis Fugit. Welcome to the Fugitive Theater. Today we're going to be playing some Against the Storm. Now, I do have some history with this game already. I dipped my toes into it on stream a couple weeks ago, but my internet was having some trouble that day, and so the stream recording didn't go well. I was really only able to salvage the first tutorial mission and put that up on YouTube, but I always wanted to play a little bit more of it. The game did really hold my attention quite well, and going into the first couple weeks after that, I actually played it quite a bit off stream. I actually have gone through several of the sort of cycles here. There's cycles where the storm closes in and goes away, and this is dictated by this sort of timeline bar at the bottom here. I've gone through a couple cycles, I've unlocked a bunch of stuff, and I really got used to all the mechanics of the game and had a lot of fun with it. I even started playing in this slightly higher difficulty level, which is actually quite a challenge. I can't even imagine what the much higher difficulty levels are. But I got enthralled by the game. I enjoyed it, and so I kept playing. Well, then I realized, it's in early access. There's a lot of changes that are happening to it. I didn't want to necessarily burn out on it, but also I wanted to give the devs a chance to come out with some cool new stuff. And I saw that a couple weeks ago, they had an experimental build update with all sorts of changes to the Glade events in the game and stuff like that. And I didn't really play it at that point. I was going to try and make a YouTube video at it. And in the meantime, they pushed that to the actual main version of the game. So that change just came out a couple days ago as of recording. I believe it came out over the weekend. And so I'm going to give that a shot here. We're going to play a game, maybe two, and we're going to see how those new Glade events work out in our favor. There's also finally they're putting out the 5th playable race, the Foxes, the Fox people. So that'll be cool, because right now there's only 4 races in the game, and you have 3 of them with every expansion. So you tend to play through them and figure them out quite quickly. It'd be cool to have a 5th one in the game. Foxes. I believe you can actually go into the experimental builds and download that right now, but all of the assets are locked out. So the Foxes, while they act and behave like the 5th race, I believe they are currently just marked as humans. Like, they just look like humans. So all the assets are currently locked out, but they do exist in the game, and you can do that in the experimental build. But for right now, I think we're just gonna try and get going on a regular embark here and see what these new changes look like. So this cycle has sort of just started. I created my first city over here, which was on the Scarlet Orchard. The Scarlet Orchard is a special biome. It has its own... well, all the biomes are different. They play a little different. The Scarlet Orchard has a specifically really cool biome mechanic where there are, like, buried, like, skeletal remains of, like, megafauna, and you have to, like, excavate those... And it's quite cool, I have to admit. You have to explore you have to like dig out the megafauna, and that gets you towards completing your settlement. I think that's quite fun. I think I want to head towards some of like these over here, some of these question marks out here. Also the marshlands, the royal woodlands and the marshlands are like the most basic of the biomes. Then there's like the coral forest, and the Scarlet Orchard. The coral forest, where was the coral forest? Right here. The coral forest is interesting because all the trees are different. All the trees, like in the forest, yield different materials. So you have like tons of materials, but like you can end up not getting a lot of any one. It can be a weird one. There's a Cursed Royal Woodlands here, which I don't think I played on a Cursed Royal Woodlands. But I think we're going to go over here. We're going to play like on the marshlands. It should be relatively simple. A relatively simple game. I'm not too worried about it. Let's just do this. This is where we're going to embark. Let's see. This start up here comes with pottery... and a bit more food. This one down here starts actually with pickled goods, so it starts with like a specialized food. Oh, this one starts with jerky, I guess. So this one seems to start with like just less food overall. And it starts with water skins instead. This one just seems to be better. Although it does split. Oh, it's got one less person in it. And it's split between humans and harpies. We might go with this. We're going to go on the Pioneer difficulty, which is the second difficulty level going up. The marshlands, of course, we can say that there's a small amount of fertile soil. We can say that severity taxing. I don't actually know what this means, severity taxing, but we can say that, you know, each glades have like giant resources. Well, Forbidden Glades. All the Forbidden Glades have giant resources, so like just very resource heavy map for what's there. And then gathering speed is increased by 10% for every 2 resources. Workers assigned to gathering camps, so you just gather faster. Just tons of gathering on these maps. The trees produce mushrooms and leather. Yeah, the trees produce leather. I don't know if that's because like there are small critters that are like in the trees that we're like processing as we chop down these trees, or if it means like that the trees themselves are coated in some kind of leather, like they're living trees. Like, well, obviously trees are living. That's an insane statement I just made. But if they're like, you know, like covered in some kind of fur, I'm not entirely sure why the trees produce leather, what the lore is there, but yeah. Natural resources. There's copper on this one. There's stone. Actually, not a ton of natural. I don't know. This should be interesting. We're going to grab. We have 4 points. We're going to grab wood. Do I want to start with extra people? I think I do. Extra people. And with 1 other point, I think we're just going to grab a food stuff that we already have access to. Let's grab some meat. And let's go ahead and embark. All right, here we go. I've really been enjoying this game, although I tend to be pretty slow while playing it, I will admit. Okay, so here's our forest mysteries. So, Queen's generosity knows no limits. Gain 2 amber every time you sell goods worth 10 amber. So 20% increase in amber from our trade goods, from our trade routes, every time we sell 10, okay? After each storm, caravans find countless goods scattered on the resources. Every trade route you complete during drizzle season will give you 5 random packs of goods. Interesting. So we want to do trade routes during drizzle season. Okay. Then there's this one, which gives me -4 to global resolve, for each stack of hostility. This is like everyone has this. Under an open sky. Villagers this effect have soaked clothes, get a -5 penalty to their resolve. This unlocks at 1. At forest hostility 1. And is only active during the storm. But as long as everyone's housed, this doesn't matter. So I always house everyone. So this is probably never going to matter to me. Hostility 3. I rarely make it to hostility 3, but in higher difficulty levels, it is much easier to get to that. So this might actually affect me. Villagers have -2 penalty to the resolve, and a stack is added every 60 seconds. So as the storm progresses, they get even worse and worse and worse. So, but you can resolve that by having housing and complex food. So as long as I'm generating complex food and everyone's housed, this won't be a problem. But so I am highly incentivized to generate complex food. And then at 4, dangerous and forbidden glades discovered grants -2 to resolve during the storm. Wow, that's just across. So if I've unlocked like 5 of those glades, then during the storm I get -10 just permanently during the storm, starting at hostility 4. All right, I don't really make hostility 4 very often, but all right, we'll see. Okay, so here, okay, so we've started in a spot in which our warehouse and our hearth are right next to each other. We've also started with additional lizards, with one lizard. That one lizard, what do you do? More nimble and agile. You know what? I do actually like that. Okay, so what do we do first? It's actually been a little while since I played this game, so let me just try and remember exactly what the goal is here. First thing I'm actually going to do is I'm going to build a path that's going to like stretch across here, because starting with like a road is pretty important. And then the next thing, because having the people move faster on roads, and any of these like simulator games, the movement speed of your pawns is extremely, extremely important to keep an eye on, because hold on just a moment here. Let me try and human house, big shelters. That's right, I unlocked big shelters. Has to be able near the house can house 6 residents, but it requires actual planks. Okay, shelters. We're gonna start with shelters, and we're going to like pack them in around the. There was a thing I was saying, and I will get back to it in a moment. Hold on. Yeah, the movement speed of your pawns is very, very important to keep your eye on because of just the fact that, you know, a day only lasts a couple of minutes, so... But in order for them to move at a rate that makes sense for a day to only be a couple minutes, they have to be zipping around the screen, right? So the fact they move at a relatively normal pace, but a day only takes a couple of minutes, means that, you know, in order to maintain efficiency in any of these simulated type games, you've got to pay close attention to how your little pawns move. So having roads, having efficient connections, making sure that they don't have to like travel all the way across the map every time they want to do anything, that's all very important. All right, woodcutters camp. That's one of the things that I was looking for. So I generally start with 2 woodcutters camps, and I want to see what glades I want to dig into. There's a nice early forbidden glade that we can, dangerous glade. There's a couple of them. I tend to want to start digging into regular glades first. There's a lot of them on this side. Let's put both of them together to start out with. We have no beavers, by the way. This is a non-beaver run. Beaver is the one race that we don't have, so we're not going to be quite as efficient at cutting down these trees as we might like to be. By the way, we can unlock blueprints. I try not to do that until we have our first set of tasks. That way I know what sort of stuff I should be moving towards. I already know I'm highly incentivized to make complex food. Like, I already know that that's a big thing. Okay, so we've got the structures built. So what we have access to first is we've got mushrooms and stone deposit, and I think that's the only thing that's in our initial glade here. So we're going to need a stonecutter's camp, but I think more importantly was this harvester's camp? It's herbalist camp, actually. So we want an herbalist camp, so I'm going to park that right about here. Oh, except you don't have the materials that you need to build it because you need wood. The harvester's camp, yeah, needs wood. Sorry, the herbalist camp, yeah, you need wood, which we don't have because we built 4 houses to get everybody housed up. Everybody is housed now, so we've got everybody is housed. So from the woodcutter's camp, unfortunately, the only specialization bonus is for beavers. So this is just going to be the herbalist camp. Actually, is better with. I'm trying to remember if the herbalist camp is actually better with I think it's better with harpies. So we're actually just going to put humans. We're going to put our 6 humans to work in these camps. Hold on, I'm trying to remember all the UI stuff. It has been a little while since I played. Okay, there we go. I always want E to like close this menu. E does not close this menu. I'm going to set mark trees to be harvested. I want to clear out like, just generally want to clear out this space because that's where like we're going to be expanding our housing into. So we're just going to generally clear this whole area. It's not a very direct approach, but this will give us a lot of wood and it'll make sure that we've got lots of space to expand our housing into. Also, we have our first cornerstone first. Detailed notes on different traders and their wares. Gain 1 additional active trade route slot. Traders will arrive faster. That's huge because our trade routes generate additional amber and generates additional packs of goods. So trading is going to be big for this city. Gain 1 to production yields for packs of goods. Now, all of our trade routes need packs of provisions. So this is actually huge to make sure that we have constantly have enough packs of provisions to work with. Grain production, there is only a very small amount of fertile soil on this map, so grain bags maybe not. I actually think export specialization is going to be our big one because I want to make sure that I'm producing as many packs of provisions as possible, as often as possible. So right now we're just letting everybody work. I'm actually going to start like getting ready to set up this stone cutters. I'm going to put it there. And there's our first jobs. Okay. So now let's see what the jobs are going to be. What is that? Does that mean I've already got it? I'm not actually sure what that means. Like, does that mean like it's got to be in my? I'm not really sure what that symbol means. So I need to sell 8 amber worth of goods, and I need to have 4 amber on me. And then I get 2 villagers. It's pretty nice. Gives me upgraded trapper's camp, which I know that there's meat and eggs on this map. I believe that was in the list. +1 leather production. The trees do just give leather, so +1 leather production would be huge. But this is really good for, like, I don't know, what, 2 wildfire essences? I don't really generally make that many. But the tools are incredibly important. And trading is going to be important for this thing. So we're going to go with the trade route stuff. Digging into glade events is big. Packs of crops. We're not really producing crops. We don't have anything to, like, make crops really right now. So maybe rich harvest is not big. I think rich harvest is not going to be it. I think we're going to go for glade events. And we need an ancient tablet, and we need packs of building materials. Ancient tablets you can get in dangerous and forbidden glades. It doesn't reward a lot. I mean, a little bit of meat, a little bit of insects. The wildfire essence, I'm probably just going to end up selling that for amber, because I only ever make a couple of extra hearths, like tops. Packs of building materials. +1 plank production, get bricks and tools. I mean, that just seems good. So we're going to take building materials. So I need something that can make building materials. But packs of building materials. That's what we're looking for when we start grabbing our first set of... Unfortunately, none of these have that. So I'm looking at probably the lumber mill first, because I do need a good source of planks, because almost all of the buildings you're going to try and make need planks, bricks, and they also need cloth. But planks, I always like having a good source of planks early. The problem is that outside of making planks, this building doesn't do much. Like, it can create scrolls very inefficiently, and it can create packs of trade goods and packs of trade goods are going to be important, but there are other buildings that do that way better. But I think for now, I'm going to have to go with the lumber mill. I didn't necessarily like that choice, unfortunately. The bathhouse is probably going to be a no this early in the game. The artisan can make barrels, not really out of what I've got. And pigment, I mean, I'm getting a lot of insects. I believe you make pigment out of insects. I'm going to be getting some insects, but I don't think that's going to be useful. The cookhouse also makes pigment and also makes biscuits and skewers. Skewers is going to be nice because I do think I have access to meat on this map, and I am incentivized to go deep for like complicated foods. But skewers, I think, are only for... Yeah, humans don't necessarily like skewers. Well, the harpies do, though. And I have human houses able to be produced if I really want to right off the bat. So, yeah, skewers, I think, is good. So we're going to go with the cookhouse. This doesn't really help me in my production at all, but... I didn't get anything in this initial set that will help me making packs of building materials. That's kind of frustrating. A large trapper's camp. I did not take the quest that would have rewarded this automatically. Small farm. There is going to be some, but I don't think that's going to be great. Honestly, I think the ranch, but the ranch requires you to feed it in like food stuff, and I don't necessarily have a ton of food stuff right off the bat. But I think that might just have to be the best way to do it. Okay. That was not a good first set of buildings, I have to admit. So I think one of the things we're going to absolutely have to do, unfortunately, is we're going to have to put down a crude workstation and a makeshift post. I don't like doing that for 2 reasons. Because and that's primarily just because I don't think that these are... Like, I would much prefer to try and shoot up into higher level production earlier. These guys are going to consume a lot of base resources in order to produce the few things that I need them to produce. It's just not efficient. Okay. So yeah, here we go. Put some harpies in the herbalist camp. They're going to start collecting these mushrooms. And yeah, we started with a cookhouse and a ranch. I suppose it is what it is. We're going to put, well, I guess our other two. Well, let's put, I'm going to be moving this map around a lot, unfortunately. I'm sorry, I'm going to be tilting the map a lot. The Factorio controls, I'm playing a lot of Factorio lately. The Factorio controls, I press E for all my, like, inventory stuff. And so that's what I'm, like, to open and close all my panels. So that's going to be what I want to do, just by default here. You're going to have to give me a pass on that one, I'm afraid. I guess I am eventually going to want to dig out over here, so let's just flag all of this. These guys are already working at clearing all of this out. This is good. I believe we start in drizzle, right? Yeah, so we're going to go into clearance before too much longer. I only have one person working this stone, so that's going to come in pretty slow, but we're not really using it for anything right now. So there's the crude workstation up. I think you're going to most likely be making fabric out of leather. And you're most certainly going to be making bricks out of stone. Don't need pipes for the time being. You probably won't be making planks at all, to be honest, because I'm probably just going to put up... Well, actually, what is that? What does the lumber mill need? It needs bricks and it needs cloth, and okay, so... Yeah, it needs bricks and cloth. I guess I'm gonna put somebody in here to start out with. Again, I'm just gonna keep hitting. I'm gonna keep hitting E, thinking it's gonna close the menu, and then I'm gonna have to hit Q to re-rotate. It's just that's gonna keep happening, I'm afraid. I apologize. Not much I can do about that. It's just, my muscle memory is just gonna be screwed up. All right, we're in the clearance time. So what should we be working toward? I mean, obviously we need to be opening up these glades to get access to glade events. We also need to be selling stuff. So I need to build, as soon as possible, a trading post. I have the material needed to build that. So let's actually go ahead and do that. This I like building like way off in the middle of nowhere because nobody needs to actually physically move to it. It's much like the... in lots of ways, it is much like the houses. Nobody needs to physically go there, so I like putting them way away. Whereas, like, the warehouse here, people need to engage with the warehouse directly. I'm going to pull one human off of... off of this so that we have a free human to build up the trading post. We'll put a person back on that as soon as we can. Glade open. It's got access to a little bit of coal right up there, and then it's got... All right, so I need a trapper's camp to get meat, and that's going to be really important for early on. I might do that right away. Maybe instead of the stone cutter, I think I might make a trapper's camp. Put it like here. And then, like, put the lizard man who's currently in the stonecutter's camp, put him on here, and then just move the stonecutter's camp out of the way, so is that to represent that I'm not using it right now. So this is going to open up into another glade here in a minute. So I'm going to actually move this. This is something I like to do, is to move these to increase efficiency. Actually put these next to whatever it's digging out. I'm actually going to put this one over here now. And we're going to start digging out sort of a path straight back. And this glade is now up. Oh my god, we did end up with swamp wheat field? Is that a new thing? Swamp wheat field? Oh no, swamp wheat is this thing. Never mind, I'm dumb. Swamp wheat field. Oh, so we just got straight up regular just wheat available, grain available. Copper vein. Ooh, stuff you don't always get access to early on. This is quite cool. All right, we're gonna move you to like here so that you're like right on top of what you're cutting. We're gonna cut all this just to make sure that there's like no, none of these possible patches that are hidden. I did not take the small farm because I did not think I was going to get access to fertile soil this early. That's actually kind of insane. All right, we now have a trading post. The makeshift post does make packs of provisions. Will actually allow you to make not berries and not herbs because we'll need those for like higher level foods and stuff. Packs of crops. We're not really. I mean, we'll set that for the time being, and grain, and I guess vegetables because we'll have lots of them. But we're not making packs of crops right now. And for packs of provisions, we should only need like say 20 on hand at any time. And for packs of building, yeah, packs of building materials is one of the things that I need. And really, it's just going to be planks. Planks is the big one. And I only need like, what, 15 on hand maybe at any given time. So once I start putting somebody in the post, they'll be able to start working that. Okay. You are unemployed for a second, and now you're going to be employed over here. Oh yeah, and I still have that one human, which I took off the... Let's put them over here. Let's get some of these packs of provisions getting made as soon as possible. Trade's going to be important. So for the time being, this Stonecutter's camp is, you know, not doing any work, but that's just going to have to be the case for a bit. Okay. Wheat. I actually might dig out around this a little bit just to try and be sure that there isn't anything. Because sometimes, like, the resources actually spawn just inside the forest. So, like, the glade will exist and stuff will spawn around it. Like here, I think there's actually coal stuck into these trees. So here, I think I might have to dig this out as well. Like you can kind of see where the coal icon is. Oh, there's the storm. We're into the storm on year 1. Everyone's resolve should be strong enough to survive this storm. We shouldn't have any problems year 1. Crude workstation is, I mean, it's working. We're making bricks and planks. We're currently not able to make any fabric. Nobody has, which is unfortunate, but nobody has gotten anything that we need. We need plant fiber, reeds, or leather in order to make fabric. If we can't make fabric, we're going to be kind of in trouble because a lot of our things need that. So if we can't find a good source, because these trees are supposed to have leather on them, right? Like that's sort of a thing. Yeah, well, each tree has a 5% chance of dropping a leather. So like, it's a pretty low chance. So we're not going to get a lot of leather off these trees. That's going to be a problem for sure. That's absolutely going to be a problem. Can we make... Oh, did we use all of our stone on something? What did we use our stone to build? How do I have 0 stone? Oh, because I used what little of it I have on the making bricks. That's right. That makes sense. I was going to try and build some higher level roads, maybe moving a little further, but I think we'll just keep to... Also, we have no builders right now anyway, so I'm just... Right now, we're just sort of moving along. We're in kind of a holding pattern for the time being. Okay, we're in the 2nd year, which means a bunch of new stuff is opened. So first things first, we're going to grab the new cornerstone for beginning of year 2. Wood production is increased by 1. Harvesting and planting are 25% slower. That I'm probably not going to take. I don't really feel like I need that insane, like, large amount of wood production increase, and planting and harvesting being slower. Considering I do actually have access to some early farm, I'm probably not going to grab that. Mist piercers. You are allowed to use legendary mist piercers. Such a weird gift at your disposal. Queen's expectations are high. Contents of glades will be revealed, but each discovered glade increases the queen's impatience by a half. That's a lot, but it could help me quite a bit. Specialized tools made to extract aspect. Gain 2 artifacts for every 2 completed dangerous and forbidden glade events. This doesn't help me here at all, but it's useful, like, to unlock stuff at the Citadel back home. I'm caught between the mist piercers and the extraction tools. The mist piercers will help me, like, if there's, yeah, like, because I really need a really good source of stuff that I can make into fabric right now. This could be rough, but I'm going to give it a shot. We're going to try mist piercers. So how do I... okay, I can hover over it. Okay. So that doesn't have it. That doesn't have it. That's got abandoned cache, though. So that's got a glade event that I can use. Snake's Nest. Fertile Soil. Fallen Human Explorers. Man, is there just not anything I can use? This coal. Man, what am I supposed to use to make... I guess this is something I didn't really look at. What the heck am I supposed to use to make, It's swamp wheat. I can't use swamp wheat to make fabric, can I? No, I need reeds, fiber, and leather. Oh, man. I guess I didn't really pay enough attention to see that none of those are available. I should have paid more attention in the loadout selection part to note that there is just none of that. Okay, so the trees have leather. So I'm going to get some leather from the trees. And of course, I believe these broodmothers technically have a chance to drop some leather. Yeah, 20% chance to drop leather. So, like, I guess that's my source. Technically. Man, I really shouldn't even be digging towards this one anymore. Hold on. You're gonna have to go relocate, because there's no reason for me to dig towards you. Large broodmothers. I think I need the higher level Trapper's Camp in order to go for the large ones. Stone Deposit. Leech Broodmother. Stone Deposit in a small encampment. This is where I want you digging towards. Hold on. We're putting you here. We are removing these. Do not dig these up. And instead dig this up. Okay. And then the second thing is we have other newcomers. So 2 harpies. You know what? I think, yes. I think 2 harpies and a lizard man. They're bringing in amber, mushrooms, and some parts. There's less important stuff that they're bringing in, I think. Although parts are nice. And having an amber early is nice. All right, yeah, that's fine. We're going to go with that. Okay, so now with some more people, first thing I'm going to do is we're going to assign the new lizard man to that station. We are going to put, which one was the, you're the one that I took a person off of. So we're going to put a few on there, and I've got one more free person. I got one more free harpy right now. I guess, man, I don't really want to overload either one of these locations, I'm going to be honest, but I think it's important to put you here. Into the crude workstation. Make more planks. We need planks. Although we also need bricks, which means we should have people working here at the stone cutter, but I I think we might take a couple of tree cutters off. Okay, so this is clearly not a thing I need to worry about. I do still think this is a thing we need to pay attention to, and I might be ready to dig here. Although living matter is really frustrating to deal with. I might be able to dig here right now and just like hit that living matter as quick as possible. Living matter is a little bit annoying because it like replicates itself very quickly. So if you're not really quick at dealing with it when you first discover a glade that's got it, you kind of it can end up scaling very quickly out of control. Yeah, we've got just a couple of pieces of leather, and that's all that we have currently. I might take a person off of here and put them over here in stone cutting. Because it is important for us to generate some amount of stone. We have a trader here. I'm actually gonna try and build. I don't have any builders. Never mind. It's very silly. By the way, I can attack this trader. I've never tried that mechanic, but it is a thing you can technically do. Let's see, I only have one amber. Got some sacks of provisions, but I don't think I want to sell those. I really don't have anything I want to sell. I'm going to be honest. I think this trader, I think I'm just going to do nothing with this trader. It's very frustrating, but there is, however, a trade route we can clear. We can sell bricks. I mean, I might as well do it. If that clears in 215, is that going to clear in 215? Yes, it will. That will give me bonus. That will give me bonus packs of resources because we are in the drizzle. Yeah, Zorg is here. I know. I don't think that's going to be useful to me. This is. Oh, I've got additional things I can try and complete. Harpy Resolve and Aesthetics, or a bunch of roads. Hell, I like building roads anyway. 50's a somewhat excessive amount, I have to admit, but... Oof, this is a really good set of rewards, though. Like, this is almost nothing as far as... Like, this is barely anything as far as rewards goes, but it's an easily clearable mission. I think we're gonna take this just because it's an easily clearable mission. Oof. Even harsher Harpy Resolve expectations, or... make an empathy decision. Oh, that's strong. All right, let's try this. Let's see if there's any... I don't know what decisions allow for empathy, but we're going to give this one a shot. This is part of that new update I was talking about anyway, so we're going to give it a shot. Roads. All right, we're going to try and build out some roads because it seems like... I don't have anybody who's going to be able to build them right now, but... As soon as I get somebody who's clear up, we'll be able to build these roads up. And in fact, again, I might take somebody off of something just to do that more efficiently. Not really sure. We are making more packs of provisions. This trader's about to go away. We're going to break into here eventually. Yeah, see, there's more coal here. Should get a mine down soon on that coal. Goods received, 5 packs of crops from our completed trade route. Very nice. And we have amber. We've got enough amber to have completed that quest now, but we still need to sell more goods. This is that sort of weird period where I'm like, I know that there are things I should probably be doing, but I'm not quite sure. Like, we're just sort of digging, or we're cutting down more trees. We're pushing forward. I don't have a lot of people to work with. We're going into the clearing. I just need to start clearing some of these, like, objectives as soon as possible, but The early ones I got were not easily clearable, so I wasn't able to like slingshot myself through the early part of this like I can with some games. Sometimes I play this and like I immediately slingshot myself up to, you know, pretty good success. We are now in the clearing for year 2. We're still trying to get into this. Gotta clear out that living matter. That's gonna be the thing that we're most afraid of once we get into there. Might actually be close. It might actually be unfortunately part of the storm. I didn't want to do it during the storm, but I may have to. This one has a Forsaken Crypt. We're almost... Okay, this regular glade has just been revealed. It's got a small encampment. Welcome new people, send them to the Citadel. Okay, so this is the way the system works. Instead of just having one way of approaching it and then 2 options, you have to pick a way of approaching it, and the way that you approach it determines your reward. Okay. Well, we're definitely welcoming new people. I always like to welcome new people during these events. So I'm going to go here. I'm going to take you off here. I'm going to take you off here. We're going to leave that empty for now. What we're going to do is we're going to go 1, 2. We're going to welcome our new people. We're going to send them a bunch of mushrooms and investigate. So that's a 30-second job. That'll be over and done with soon. Once that's done... Oh, I completed another trade route? Or is that still here from before? Also, there is another trade route to be available now. I can send coal. Yeah, let's do it. I mean, I need that coal, but it's whatever. I've got plenty of coal. Oh, right. High expectation. Yeah, as I clear into these. Okay, so that just opened up. So now I've got this living matter that I have to take care of. Living matter is going to make people feel sick. It multiplies, creating new clusters. So I've got 10 minutes and 18 seconds to deal with this living matter, or it's going to like tank my resolve and split into more of itself. And while I'm dealing with it, cooked and raw food in the warehouse disappearing at 2 items every 12 seconds. So effectively an item every 6 seconds, or 10 items a minute. Only active when the glade event is being worked on. It'll take a couple of minutes, so I'll lose some food items. I think I'm good enough on food that this is not going to affect me too heavily. It's an item every 6 seconds, which means it's about 10 items a minute. I've got 113. Yeah, I should be fine. I'm going to get an ancient tablet out of this, which is huge. And I'm going to be able to plant crops faster, so when I finally unlock a way to use that fertilized soil, that'll be great. Or the fertile soil. That'll be great. I'm going to go ahead and we're going to let this finish first. There's no need for me to jump right into this. There's absolutely no need for me to jump right into this. I'm going to let this event finish, and then we'll put people over here onto that. And then we'll take a look at what the other one is as well. We actually do have unhoused people, by the way, which I did not realize. We're going to... Well, I guess we're just going to make regular shelters for a bit more here. Put one there. I like putting them way out on the edge, right? Because these are not, you know, these structures don't do much. Or rather, nobody needs to walk over to them to do anything. There's a single... I think that's the only thing, huh? There's like a single... single mushroom spot over there, and that's the only thing that this herbalist camp is going to be able to do for a while, so... Once this is finished, which it almost is, a couple more seconds. Boom, we have more people. Okay, and we've cleared a glade event, which means that we can start moving this up. Let's go over to the living matter here, and let's put 2 humans on it. Let's go. Clear out the living matter. We have the this complete. We're going to grab even more people. We're going to get some jerky. Okay, we're in a good spot now. We've started to move things forward. We can get a new one of these. We can upgrade our herbalist's camp, which we haven't seen a big thing of mushrooms really, so that's not really important. The plantation though, we get plant fibers and berries. You know, I think that's going to be a real good use of our thing here. The clothier would be nice, except we can't really produce a lot of cloth, so the clothier can't, you know, really be that useful. And the forester's hut uses farm fields to make resin and crystallized dew. Crystallized dew is not as important in this one because I have access to copper, so anything that the crystallized dew would normally do, I can just use copper for. And resin is, I mean, resin's always, it's a useful middle product, but I think the plantation's the main one because it's going to give me plant fiber. So with the plantation, we are actually going to make this. Oh, except we need planks, man. You are spending our planks just to make building materials, I think. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to turn off packs of building materials. I don't want you making building materials. You should be making as many planks as possible. Damn, I guess once I get planks, I mean, I guess I can use people in the meantime to, like, put this down, but there's not going to be anything near it. Let's see. I guess we can start working on decorations. So what does my hearth need in order to level up? It needs 4 comfort decorations. That's these ones here. We can do like gate, that counts as how many? Gate counts as 3, and then I can put like barrel there. There we go. That'll use up some of our resources, but it will advance the hearth to level 3, or to level 2 rather. My food is technically disappearing, but it's not a big deal. We're putting down houses. We actually might need to put down even one more house. Yeah, we do have to put down one more house. Let's put this way over. Like, put it like way over here. Okay, with plenty of people now, let's go ahead and start giving them jobs. Actually, we want to save the humans. The humans are going to need to... Yeah, let's keep clearing some of this out, I think, on this side. We can also keep making paths, I guess. Oh yeah, these people need to find a job. What's the most likely? I think it has to go here. So let me do something like this and designate like this stuff to be cut. Because the actual plantation itself is gonna have to go like here. Stonecutter's camp has nothing nearby. That's fine. We've got plenty for it over here. There you go. You've got plenty to do, and in fact, we'll give you another worker. Okay, you are currently not doing anything because you filled up on packs of provisions. And I don't want you to make packs of building materials right now. We are going to try and make our plantation. I guess I could put it here too. But yeah, this is the correct place for it. Small Trapper's camp has nothing. It's fine, we've got something for you to do down here.